Good morning, everyone. Can I get you to take a seat? Wow, that was quick. Good morning, my name is Rebecca Johnson, and I am the Chief Scientist here at the National Museum of Natural History. I've already experienced great joy this morning seeing our amazing Buck alumni and their mentors greeting each other again, maybe after some period of time. Please, can you put up your hand if you are a current or former Buck Fellow? And we're going to hear from some of these amazing people today. Please put up your hand if you're a mentor of a current or former Buck Fellow. And that's what it's all about, is our amazing love of science and the extraordinary people of the next generation that have worked here and have gone on to do great things and will do great things. It's my pleasure to be your host for the Science Symposium today, which officially kicks off the National Museum of Natural History's events celebrating Earth Day, which, if you're following along, is next week. I'd like to start off by introducing Dr. Ellen Stofan, the Undersecretary for Science and Research for all of the Smithsonian Institution. Dr. Stofan oversees science museums and science research centres, as well as the Smithsonian Libraries and Archives, Smithsonian Scholarly Press, and scientific diving. Ellen has spearheaded the Smithsonian's Our Shared Future Life on a Sustainable Planet initiative and associated research which spans biodiversity, climate change, global health, sustainable communities, and environmental justice. And she's going to tell us a little bit more about that in just a minute. Before joining the Smithsonian, Ellen held the role of Chief Scientist at the Jet Propulsion Lab, Chief Scientist for NASA's New Millennium Program, Deputy Project Scientist, sorry, it's not short, Ellen, but it's pretty amazing. Deputy Project Scientist for the Magellan mission to Venus, and Experiment Scientist for Spaceborne Imaging Radar C. Before taking on her current role as Undersecretary for Science and Research here at the Smithsonian level, Ellen was the John and Adrian Mars Director for the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum, where, among other things, she was the first woman ever to hold that position. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Ellen Stofan to the stage.
Thank you, Rebecca, for that overly long introduction. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a day that's going to be absolutely filled with inspirational science. We're delighted to welcome back our Buck Fellows. Thank you all very much for being here. And today you're going to be hearing about some of the work that they did, not just here, but that they've continued to do in their careers. Fellowship programs are incredibly important to us at the Smithsonian. They help us by keeping our science fresh and on edge. And we like to think, and I speak as a former intern at the National Air and Space Museum, that your experiences at the Smithsonian help guide and shape your career. So, let's see, that worked. So here at the Smithsonian, we do science that literally spans the universe, from understanding the behavior of black holes, taking X-ray images of the solar system or the universe that help us understand the dynamic processes that have shaped the universe around us, to conserving species, keeping species that are extinct in the wild ready to be reintroduced and actually reintroducing them into ecosystems, studying our coastal ecosystems that are on the edge of survivability. And here at the National Museum of Natural History, holding collections that form a critical part of the scientific infrastructure of this country. It is not news to any of us in this room that our planet is facing an unprecedented series of crises, from weirdly and frighteningly warm oceans to the fact that we overutilize the planet's resources every year, to the wildfires that last summer made those of us here in Washington breathe absolutely unhealthy air, to the biodiversity crisis that we're facing. These challenges can seem daunting and at times even unsolvable. But here at the Smithsonian, we've marshaled our resources under an initiative called Life on a Sustainable Planet. In the ocean, on the land, in the air, and across the universe, we are bringing together our collections, our fieldwork around the globe, our satellites up in space, to address the critical challenges that these ecosystems face. And we're doing it in a way that brings communities as co-developers for solutions. We're ensuring that solutions we develop have environmental justice at their core. We know that shared health is incredible. Healthy ecosystems mean healthy people. And education and outreach around our work has to underlie everything that we do. So today we're going to hear topics that range from how animals are resilient amidst changing ecosystems to how machine learning can unlock mysteries lying in plain sight in our collections. We'll even learn about a missing layer in our continents. I'm so excited to see such a huge range of topics today, because all of these topics in this research that's happening, as you can see from this strategy, is part and critical to ensuring that we can have healthy life on this sustainable planet. So thank you very much, and I look forward to listening to the talks today. Thank you all very much for being here.
Thank you so much, Ellen. It's, as she mentioned, the speakers for today's symposium are all examples of how impactful and inspiring the Buck Fellowship Program at the National Museum of Natural History is. The 10 individuals today are part of a community of 148 Peter Buck-funded fellows, past and present, across our 7 science departments. And I'm going to now read out those departments for you, because they're all very important. Vertebrate zoology, invertebrate zoology, mineral sciences, paleobiology, entomology, botany, and anthropology. Buck Fellows can be found in 26 of the United States, in 18 countries, and on all 7 continents. I don't think anyone lives in Antarctica, but I know that many of you have visited as part of your research. As you'll hear today, many continue the work they began during their time here at the museum and go on to have long collaborations with the large community that they had the opportunity to connect with here as a fellow. The Peter Buck Fellowship Program was established in 2011 through an incredibly generous donation from longtime board member of the NMNH, Dr. Peter Buck. This fellowship program honours his legacy by supporting full-time resident independent researchers focused on utilising the collections and facilities here at the museum. The Buck Fellowships are one of several long-standing fellowship programs here at the museum, and these individuals are typically emerging superstars in their fields and represent the future and evolution of our disciplines, who go on to ask and often answer the big questions about nature, science, and society. As Ellen said, we are honoured to have several of you back with us today. Ellen spoke earlier about the Smithsonian's Life on a Sustainable Planet strategy, and today we are announcing the natural history strategy that sits directly underneath that Life on a Sustainable strategy. This is our new framework for how our museum science and the exceptional people who work here will help us understand the natural world and our place in it. Our Peter Buck Fellowship alumni will be presenting research that contributes to our 4 framework topics. And those are assessing global change, past, present, and future, exploring and understanding biodiversity, understanding Earth's origin and evolution, and humans in the 21st century. And if you picked up a program on your way in, you will see that neatly our speakers' presentations fit within those 4 themes today. Through the generous support of the Peter and Carmen Lucia Buck Foundation, we have been able to bring back these 10 extraordinary alumni who are going to present on their research under the themes of our new framework. And they are answering questions like, how are recent human activities altering Earth's ecological systems, biodiversity, ecosystem function, and cultural diversity? How can we accelerate discovery and description of Earth's species in the new age of discovery and informatics, and unfortunately in this time when we sometimes feel like we're losing them faster than we can describe them? How does volcanism change planets and impact humanity and life on Earth? And how can a natural history museum approach collections and stewardship in a way that is both ethical and also advances anthropological research in the 21st century? These incredible researchers are helping increase the flow of new ideas, perspective, and skills into the wider science community and beyond. And we're honoured and proud that they are back to share their science journeys with us. So in celebration of Earth Day, we also celebrate our fellows along with the science that they are doing and the science that we are doing, not just within these walls, but across the world, to understand the natural world and our place in it. The first topic our speakers will highlight from the science framework is assessing global change. Two of our speakers will touch on how through new and existing collections, field studies, new genomic technologies, and experimental and modelling approaches, they can determine how biodiversity and human culture are responding to a time of greatly accelerated environmental change.